Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sorry, but I really can't wait to see the Hogwarts Legacy game, to walk through the castle, to cast some stupefies, to unravel some dark secrets. And hey, there have already been games set up in the Harry Potter universe and, let's face it, doubtful. We expect a lot, and I hope so much that the game will not disappoint us. And what do we know so far? 9 3/4 main facts about the most expected game of 2023. The release date and the first day of playing for many players will be the 10th of February 2023. The luckiest and the most committed wizards to be are going to start 72 hours early if having pre-ordered one of the offered game packs, which we are going to discuss later in this video. The game will be available for all platforms, the PC, PlayStation and Xbox consoles, and the Switch, but for the Switch we don't know the release date so far. The Sony PlayStation is getting an announced special quest in addition to the main game too. We also know that the Hogwarts Legacy is a single-player game that does not have any online co-op gameplay, so you will have chance to discover the universe all by yourself, limited only by your own imagination. Two sides of magic exist, and we'll have to absolutely choose our priorities in the Hogwarts Legacy game. Considering what we know about the plot thread, we may at some point take on the responsibility for the fate of all wizards. From trailers, we already know about plenty of dark wizards out there in a hard alliance with goblins. Joint game director Alan Tew promises a possible dark line and an existence of different approaches to spell casting and combat. That said, some of us may choose to join or even to lead the dark side of magic. The darker path would totally involve manipulating others for your own perspective and making them obey to your will. And that's what all the Unforgivable Curses are for. The notorious green light of the killing curse was shown in the game trailer with a slight hint that somehow we might go down that road and wind up want to plunge the whole wizard kind into the darkness. The Cruciatus, the torturing curse cast to inflict unbearable pain on victims. The incantation Be Crucio is expected to be an option for one of the confirmed companions, Sebastian Sallow, with his alleged tragedy of a family curse. The third Unforgivable Curse, the Imperius, hasn't been shown in the trailers, but it was confirmed on Twitter. My dark side tells me that in lots of ways it might be much more efficient to manipulate a person rather than to go for a corny killing curse. Frankly speaking, all this magic looks much more complex and way above a 5th year Hogwarts student skills, but I'm very certain that many of you really can't wait to be one of those bad guys. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna use those, but never say never. 3 is a truly magical number, as it is an exact number of editions available to purchase in Hogwarts Legacy. Every edition includes the base game itself, so what about the differences? The first option would be the Standard Edition. If you pre-order Standard Edition, you will also get the Onyx Hippogriff mount, which is a part of any pre-order pack actually, and on the other hand, will not be available after the official release date. If you buy the Standard Edition, you'll still be able to upgrade to the Deluxe version anytime you want. We can further count with the Deluxe Edition purchased in either digital or physical version. The Deluxe Edition, both physical and digital, provide the 72 hours early access to the game. Players who purchase the digital version will get the Dark Arts Garrison hat, which by far hasn't been presented to the public, in addition to the Dark Arts pack of Thestral Mount, cosmetic set, and Dark Arts Battle Arena, available for the physical version as well. Another option offered to players is the Collector's Edition, the most profound and all-inclusive of all. The Collector's Edition has all the Deluxe version has, and above this, it brags about one exclusive in-game possession, a Kelpie Rope cosmetic DLC to be specific, and several exclusive physical items. The pack consists of the unique special design box, a book always open on a blueprint-looking map of Hogwarts surroundings, a magical wand, and if you happen to stand next to a power socket, you can magically plug it in and watch it hovering in small circles above the enchanted book. Yay! Oh, totally forgot, you will of course also get a steel case for the disc. Speaking about platform differences, only the PlayStation players will have the exclusive confirmed access to the Haunted Hogsmeade Shop quest. The trailer footage of the quest, by the way, gives a really chilling and frightening impression and looks cool. We also have information that those players who complete these quests will also get exclusive access to their own shop in Hogsmeade, where they can sell items and gear at rates better than anywhere else at the game. And exceptionally, the PlayStation PlayStation players who pre-order will benefit from getting the Felix Felicis potion recipe. 4 is a number of houses at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, so every new student in February will put on the sorting hat and be sorted into one of the Hogwarts houses: Slytherin, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw or Gryffindor. And believe me, the sorting hat will comply whatever you choose. The game designers promise a deep and complete dive into the very canonic atmosphere of each house's common rooms, as they were in the books. Interesting is that the books never describe the Hufflepuff's common room in detail. As for me, I hope to be at home in the Gryffindor's common room, or maybe Slytherin will do too, must confess here. Anyway, what we saw in the room tours looks just impressive. The Avalanche seems to really have worked hard on this game aspect. They promise each of the common rooms will have the essential vibes according to the house elements, where Hufflepuff is earth, Ravenclaw's air, Gryffindor's fire, and Slytherin's water. The number of houses, furthermore, corresponds to the number of companions. Companions are students of Hogwarts who will accompany the main character throughout the plot story. They are supposed to help and share their own knowledge with him or her whenever he or she needs. One companion from each house was introduced to us. It's Nasai Anai of Gryffindor, Poppy Sweeting of Hufflepuff, Sebastian Sello of Slytherin, and Amit Thakkar of Ravenclaw. They are all different, have their strong sides, their weaknesses, and of course their personal stories, which we will eventually get to know. You're about to come on board the Hogwarts Express for the first time as a 5th-year student. We are not sure what's been happening to the protagonist before, but we already have hints that the character is an outstanding wizard capable of making some really significant changes for the course of whole magical history. According to the trailer, the main character has a unique ability to manipulate powerful ancient magic hidden in the wizarding world. The magic we'll be seeking for is supposedly preserved in the castle itself. The magical history books tell us that Hogwarts is a place full of ancient powers, and no one is capable to unravel all of the castle's secrets. Even Albus Dumbledore, despite of being one of the most committed and talented wizards of his times, and the school's headmaster, confessed that there were many unknown and unexplainable things even to him. Taking all this into account, Hogwarts looks like the right place for a young and passionate student destined to save the magical world right after writing several parchments of home assignments. Because a 5th-year student would have tons of learning material to catch up with, to compensate for the first 4 years that he or she had missed. We already know about 6 things, at least, that we are not getting in the game. I'm really not complaining here, at least not for now. Just mentioning, as a matter of fact, these things are known and occasional during the Hogwarts school years to the students, but they are officially missing in the game, as has been announced to the public. Well, we will not have a normal school schedule to attend classes in a certain order, and we will not pass the super difficult OWLO test, which in this case means the Ordinary Wizarding Level, a series of subject-specific standardized tests taken during Hogwarts students' 5th year. Instead of having to act according to a strict schedule, the students just attend those classes they want or need to learn some specific skills for their quests. Instead of passing exams, we will level up each specific branch of magical abilities, individually depending on what kind of wizard each one of us wants to be. The Quidditch annual tournament is not gonna happen with us in the Hogwarts Legacy, so no chance of catching the snitch or cheering for the house team. On the other hand, we will fly the broomsticks, we'll have a chance to participate in broom race challenges. Plus, we can also fly brooms to explore new and familiar locations surrounding Hogwarts Castle. And by the way, speaking about magical sports, you won't have a chance to play a magical chess game or gobstones game. Interesting is that we already know one of the professors met his wife on a gobstones tournament, and we'll not be able to experience the atmosphere of this type of event. And we even saw a quest where we'll be looking for gobstones of a fellow student, but the games as it is are not a part of the Hogwarts Legacy world. The players won't be able to change their character's creation in the middle of the gaming process, apart from the simplest cosmetics, so the core features will remain unchangeable, whereas you still have a chance to visit a kind of a magical barbershop in Hogsmeade to get in a haircut for holidays or something like this. The creators still promise players a bunch of cosmetics to play with and have a lot of fun. Worth mentioning is also that we are not having a possibility of in-game purchases, nor are the microtransactions. It's not a part part of the gaming world or plot, of course, but it is a part of mechanics. The only thing to be bought additionally for those who purchase the standard game edition is the Dark Arts pack, which is included in the other editions of Hogwarts Legacy. Apparently, the classes you attend at Hogwarts have mostly remained the same from the late 1819s to the Harry Potter time at school. Charms, potions, carry magical creatures, herbology, flying class, defense against dark arts, history of magic, 7 of them. There may be more, but this is what we know for sure so far. And we're even familiar with some of the professors. No official confirmations yet, but the trailer shows us a class with students looking absolutely bored and a ghost professor floating deliberately. It's almost certainly Professor Cuthbert Binns. He's famous for having taught until a very old age, and then once he fell asleep in the staff room and died in slumber. But death didn't prevent him from teaching the history of magic class, so he continued as a ghost. And guess what? Goblin rebellions was one of his favorite topics in his classes. Another professor, introduced as officially, is Mirabelle Garlick, professor of herbology. She might, as I can assume, at the same time be the head of Hufflepuff House. We also know Abram Ronan, the professor of charms. Charms is one of the most practical classes at Hogwarts School, so I'm sure we'll attend a lot of Professor Ronan's classes. I also think Professor Ronan will be head of Ravenclaw House. Further comes a sweet-looking lady, Professor Dinah Hickett, who is about to teach us the most useful and even dangerous stuff, defense against dark arts. To continue our guessings of who will be which house's head, I think Professor Hickett will be head of Gryffindor House. 8 kinds of enemies have been demonstrated or hinted at in the trailers so far. Dark wizards, trolls, goblins, acromantula, inferi, conjured magical creatures corrupted by spells of dark wizards, dragons, unknown figures possessed by dark magic. We can assume different villains demand different combat approach. For this reason, the Hogwarts Legacy provides us with a variety of attacking spells. To name a few: Stupefy, Petrificus Totalis, Expelliarmus, Expulso, Confringo, Epagno. About this, we will master a whole lot of defensive abilities, including commonly used Protego, the very basic shield charm, and leveling up to a more proficient level to cast the Disillusionment charm, for example. What's also important, you can stick to stealthier style, avoiding major battles. In this case, it means you will use another basic set of spells, strongly different from the attacking and defensive style. Or maybe you'd rather concentrate on improving the potion skills or looting for enchanted items that provide you more protection and cover you from sight of your enemies. Trailers reveal various species of magical creatures, more than 9 to be sure. We even see a hint of unicorn. The creature is very rare in the magical world and is also extremely valuable for its blood that cures any wounds and diseases. The game creators assure that players can tame, mount, and ride some of those creatures. You have to be aware, though, this doesn't work this way with most of magical beasts. We can partly count on Poppy Sweeting, for instance, if you want to get along with some creatures less averse to contact. Others can be very useful for making potions or being a little less than comfortable means of transport, like a friendly hippogriff can be. House elves are without a doubt an essential part of Hogwarts life. They cook and clean and do all the housekeeping at school. They consider wizards as their masters. They are always very helpful and ready to do whatever a wizard wishes. Snifflers might become or amusing furry companions, very proficient in tracking kinds and other glittering things too. Mooncalves look very cute and are indeed shy and harmless, so basically not expecting anything but sweetness from those little ones. Grubhorns, to the contrary, are very aggressive by nature and have very thick skin, able to repel most spells, so I bet we will not be friends with those babies. Trolls belong to the same category. They're extremely strong and absolutely hostile, as well as acromantula. Those supergiant and intelligent spiders are actually great admirers of wizards and witches in the form of cobweb-covered trees. Centaurs are not as ultimately aggressive, but you should anyway keep out of their domain, as they are very suspicious towards strangers and are not inclined to share their wisdom with wizards. Goblins are cunning and sneaky. They are deeply insulted and dream about getting back at wizards. That's because goblins believe wizards stole their treasures and unfairly usurped the right to wield a wand. So you should always keep an eye on goblins in your your immediate environment and never trust them. I really wonder if contacting the creatures will be crucial for the main storyline, or at least will be an option in developing some special combating skills, or they are basically just to make a vivid and diverse magical atmosphere in the game. You're welcome to share your thoughts and ideas in the comments to this video. Thank you for your attention, Nox.